You looking for me? I'm right here.
You are live.
We're live now. Did we push it?
Not yet. I just wanted to let you know.
Hey, good morning. It is just about 10:10, and this is where we are with the front that's coming through. It is very disruptive. We've got a lot of wind. We've clocked winds at over 50 miles an hour into Pocatello, and we're just on the edge of this rain-snow changeover for Blackfoot and the Upper Valley. You can see where the warmer air is. As this front comes through here, there's going to be some disruptive winds. We've already seen that today, so I just caution you about that. I wanted to make sure everybody knew. We started this morning watching the front, and I'll put it in line for you here so you can see it. But this is live Viper radar as we speak here at 10:11 this morning. So please share this, let somebody know. We're looking at the storm that's coming through here, so there's some more disruptive, unsettled weather on into IF and Blackfoot. There on the edges, and you can see where we're making that changeover just on the edge of the city there in Blackfoot. As you get to the movie mill, we'll go from rain into some sleet, and then we get into some snow back behind there. So you may see a little bit of that. I'm going to take you to another radar view. And what you'll see with this one is we're able to measure the speed of the storm and where it's headed. So this one has some upper level winds at 60 miles an hour. And it's headed for Firth in the next 30 minutes. So this is back behind the front. This one about 40 miles an hour. This one out into the desert, moving at a pretty good clip at about 45 miles an hour. So into Blackfoot, we'll see the edge of the most intense weather there in the next 20 minutes or so. So just know that you need to be on the watch for this front, because it's going to zip through here and just make a believer out of you. It is quite potent. So these spring storms making the changeover, you see where we're headed. We've had some lightning involved as well. So even more snow as we get into the lower valley, past Blackfoot, into that stretch of Fort Hall. And we've seen some snow into Salmon. I don't want to leave anybody out, but the Bear River Range is under that winter weather advisory, as is Clark, Teton, and Fremont counties. But that stretch of I-15 is pretty windy as we get going right now. I'll take you over to Arco and let you see what we see. And this is some of the snow, maybe some graupel, which is that really small hail. And obviously it's icing up the camera, but this is out toward the site, and you go from Blackfoot down this stretch, and things can be a little shifty. You can't see too far ahead of you, so look out for visibility issues. It is snowing in Pocatello now as we speak at 34 degrees there. It feels like it's about 23. And we just put out a push alert, sounds like. Yeah, I just heard it. So we're letting folks know, come on in and watch this on the live stream over YouTube, and make sure you download our weather app. So you may have woken up this morning and said, what's going on with the weather? Well, we're making that spring-winter changeover. So we've got a front that is positioned just to the south of Blackfoot right now, and the temperatures are beginning to drop. You see we're at the 40s in Blackfoot. This is a live look over the streets of Idaho Falls. The temperature is 10 degrees cooler as you get to Pocatello with this front that is zipping through here. We've got a lot of moisture, a lot of wind. We've seen 50-mile-an-hour gusts, and this is one of these big spring moments where we go, okay, we're zipping through here with this front, and we make that changeover. So the darker blues are the heavier areas of some winter weather. Now, some of you may have seen some lightning, heard some thunder. It's very disruptive. This is where we're in that temperature changeover, but there will be snow mixed with rain, and the wind is what I caution you about. So if you know someone who's in the I-15 corridor here in the next 2 hours, it's going to be gusty, and you may have some precip that you weren't expecting, including some graupel and maybe some sideways snow. But it's a pretty intense little front that is coming through here just in the middle of our morning, and wind gusts have exceeded 50 miles an hour. I've measured wind gusts more than 70 into the desert with some of the radar indications. So, and a good thing is that wasn't near anybody. But again, a sudden burst can rip the top off of a trailer or maybe some things out in the yard. So make sure you're safe and secure. And if you have to go outdoors, don't let the truck door hit you in the meniscus, because it'll grab hold of the back door of the TV station. I mean, it's pretty pretty potent right now. So the winds are sustained at about 20 miles an hour. It's the gusts that concern us. We've got 33 mile an hour gust into Idaho Falls, 26 mile an hour gust into Rexburg right now, 20 mile an hour gust into Arco, and it is 10:15. This is not a recording, this is a live feed from the studio here, and 27 mile an hour gust into Blackfoot. So you see that area where we're making the changeover, and I'll dig into the front here and let you see more of this. And by the way, if you haven't already, follow us on social media, make this your home page, the weather page, and I'll dig into this storm just a little bit here, but you see where the winds out into the desert are pretty thick. And that dark blue area right there, that is pretty intense weather out into the desert just to the south and the east of Arco. But you see this line here where we're making that transition. Yeah, it's got that, well, it's got that reminiscent of echoes and elbows that we see during spring storms. So just know that the winds there can be pretty treacherous if you get caught in it. So we're over 30 miles an hour, most of us, with the burst right now, at least with the wind speeds. Look at this, 49 mile an hour gust into Leadore. This is one of these spring storms. Only people here really understand how to deal with this. But if you're new to the area, this transition that we make between spring, from winter to spring, is not necessarily the most friendly. So we deal with a lot of this. And then on top of that, the groundhog had 2 kids. Did you hear this? We'll have an update on that for you at noon. But it is quite the seasonal disruption that we're going through. So let me plot the front for you, since we've got a little extra time and we're not bound by a newscast. So there's the front. It has gone past the I-15 corridor. So now we're in the wake of this with colder air, and we're making that changeover into some snow. So we got 33 mile an hour gusts into Idaho Falls. There's the front, there's more moisture, and then the next system's gonna hit us from the south. So you look at these systems, and when you see these little lines right here, the isobars, the closer they are together, the higher the winds. So look at this storm. Yeah, that's what's out west right now. This will continue to be fed today. This front is not being very friendly to us. It's quite potent, and it is moving at a pretty good clip. So we're going to see more of these winds through the day today. In fact, I'll track them for you with the gusts now close to 30 miles an hour into the day. Yeah, we'll be busting 30 miles an hour, and in the highlighted areas that you see, especially over here as you get on into the Bone and you get to Driggs and Jackson, down around Soda Springs, we're going to see more intense wind. In fact, I can hear it right now. I'm going to walk out the door and let y'all hear this while I do this, since we have time while we're looking at stuff. Let's see. There may be some. Yeah, I don't see. There's blowing conditions, and then you got that rain. And it's like pellets. So it's pretty wispy, and we're sitting at like 41 degrees. So I'm just walked outside the back door so y'all can hear this. But the wind's pretty good right now. So this is the kind of stuff we get to do when I just kind of take over the TV station. Hey, back here. So for the afternoon, 30 mile an hour winds, the highlighted areas with the best potential for gust. Here is the Vipercast with the snow that has already settled in here. Here we are into mid-morning with the front. It's passed through the area. That intense line of showers is going to continue for our areas east of I-15. So right now, the front's pretty much pushing, or it's the wake of it. You know how you're in a boat, so it's the wake of the front right now across Idaho Falls and Shelley and Firth. Then we get into Saturday and Sunday, and there's more scattered showers through here. So for the day today, it's going to be windy, and I want you to lock down the garden gnomes, make sure the trampoline's safe and you're not around any projectiles, and don't let the truck door hit you in the kneecap. 47, mid-40s, but the temperature's already dropped significantly. That's why we were talking about that wobble this morning on the hour by hour, because the front has come through into Pocatello and it's dropped the temps by about 10 degrees. So you see, it's going to be a pretty messy weekend. We're in mud season. Pocatello is cooling off, and I'm going to take you back to this radar you're seeing behind the scenes stuff now. The good news is I don't think we have any power no, we do have some power issues apparently down into our southern counties and into portions of Nevada. Yeah, see, these are all power outages. So I caution you about that and want to remind you just to have your phone charged up and make sure you have the First Alert weather app so you can watch us. So there's that pocket of rain and snow. Rigby's getting wet, Rexburg's getting wet, and then you make the crossover into the hills. So Blackfoot's just on the edge And yes, we have some electricity with this. So Chubbuck and Pocatello right now, let's go back to them and look at, see if I can pull up their cameras here. So this is Idaho Falls right now, and the wind's pretty good clip. And there's rain. So again, this is going to come through, and you'll be able to tell. It's almost like the grand exit of winter. Not that it's ever over here, but this is Idaho Falls right now. So it's raining pretty intensely. It feels like it's about 36. That's a 20-mile-an-hour wind. That doesn't include the gusts. We've got snow in Pocatello, and you can see it. Can you see it in the camera? I'm following. I'm tracking this for you, so that way you can see it too. Don't you love it when we have storms and the internet's about as slow as Christmas? Hang on a second. I got to refresh this. Appreciate you being here today. Yeah, we're doing a live stream just from the Weather Center to get you on top of this. I know it's one of those days where you're like, what is going on with the weather? You see the ice on the camera. So I'll zoom into the interstate down here just to let you look, and you can see the snow better that way. So this is the Clark Street exit, but you see the snow that's mixed with the rain through the entryway to the Gate City. It's pretty gnarly. And I want you to be careful. That wind will overcorrect you while you're driving, so don't let it. And it's best just stay off the roads if you can. So look out for the high-profile vehicles as well. I'm going to go over to Jackson too, because that's our neighborhood, and it looks like there's some snow flying as well. The radar it can't always get through the mountains over that way. And here's a live look at Salmon, where it's a little miserable looking. And then most of us are seeing wet weather right now as we start. So snowing in Pocatello with the passage of the front. Rexburg, you've got some snow flying as well. You can see that on the camera. And Blackfoot, you're wet too. This is just going to be one of those days where you wondered where spring was. It's trying to break through, and I think it will after we get through the weekend. So as we track this, there's the falls, and you can see boy, look at the trees. We do have some winter alerts that are up, and they're mainly, as we track this front, see how the front's passed by the interstate now? With the winter alerts are into our bookend counties as you get into Teton, Idaho and Wyoming, Clark and Fremont counties, and then the Bear River Range. And we've added Lincoln County this morning too. So we're expecting you all to get 2 to 6 inches of snow, and then more than likely the winds obviously are going to be pretty gnarly. So wind chills right now make it feel like it's in the 20s. The temps, you see how the temperature has dropped there in Pocatello because the front has come through. So that line that we're talking about with the rain and snow is right across here with the front that has just zipped through. So you got snow here and just that pocket of rain here, and then you've got the mix that is going to edge up and push up toward the upper part of the valley. So this is probably a good day to stay indoors and stay with us. So this is live Viper right now as the front begins to edge through. And let me plot that for you so you can track it with me here. By the way, you can do all this on your phone if you have our weather app. And if you don't, and you've had it, if you do have it and you've had it for a while, you may want to refresh it and update it because there's some new toys on it, better graphics. So we're riding up 20 with rain, Blackfoot. Some pretty intense weather right now. Let's go take you back to another radar that we have. And again, this is a look over into Arco. Butte City. So you can see, well, we're starting to get some clearing. Do you see earlier in this broadcast we had some just real intense visibility issues, but you see the grapple and the snow that's on the side of the road, and you can start to see the butte. Check the wind gust again real quick. So we've had wind gusts literally while I've been on the air here. We've jumped up to 44 mile an hour wind gusts. That's probably what I was hearing when I stepped outside a moment ago. But it's quite intense, and that's where we are with the front. That's the last radar update. Here's what's cooking. we're making that changeover. And you would have thought it would be warmer and we wouldn't see this changeover into snow. But with the front and the push, we're getting more intense. Mother Nature and the groundhog are really fighting over this. But you see where all this is coming from. All right, that cell right there is pretty rough. You see that lightning pop at the bottom? That means it's pretty intense. I'll take you through this. So yeah, this is where we are in Blackfoot. And Blackfoot, about 2 minutes. That line's going to cross, and you will feel the need for speed. Idaho Falls, it's raining right now. That's blowing rain, and you'll feel it if you're out exposed to it. And look at this little cell here. We've got more changeover into snow. So folks in Lava and Grace, it's a pretty good little wind clip here. Radar indicated 64 miles an hour. And again, none of this is termed severe. I just want you to be careful with the wind. Our friends in St. Anthony getting the just argument between the rain and the snow. You get up toward Leadore and they got some snow, but the deeper blues are snow. So this, we're into the desert here. This is more snow, deeper, more potent snow, and you see that little pocket right there just ahead of Fort Hall, where the winds get to clipping pretty good and coming out of the south and the west. But those areas here, you're seeing that snow, rain changeover, and this is the pink areas. That's where you get some of that little hail, the graupel. That's a German word that means small hail. So you may see some of that, and this is more intense rains into the green, which makes sense because we want things to turn green, right? Swan Valley, you're looking dry right now, and again, our winter weather advisories are on into the big Y. That's not really it's an echo. So this is where we're headed. Firth in the next little bit. You just call it. Go inside. So Blackfoot, a little edge of this, it's headed your way. This is not fun at all. If you woke up late and didn't catch the morning news, then you're like, what's going on with the weather? I thought it was supposed to be dry. Well, you got a day off yesterday. Today is not your best day. It's probably the best chance for any kind of rain because it's front. And then we're going to see a better day tomorrow for Good Friday, and then we bust it into the weekend for Easter on Saturday with some rain. Sunrise services, it's going to be brisk, and you may have some snow and some rain in there. Okay, Shelley. Blackfoot. Now, you see that lightning pop? That's the unsettled conditions in the atmosphere. So you may hear some thunder snow. If you're cruising the interstate, a little blast of light. Yeah. 44 mile an hour bursts into Idaho Falls right now. And 26 mile an hour gust into Rexburg. I just want to make you aware of this because it looked pretty potent when I was checking it. So for the rest of the afternoon, I'll do this again. We got some pretty good winds. The highlighted areas with the best potential for winds, and obviously we're going to have more on this coming up at noon. And yeah, oh wow, look, yeah. So we're going to be talking about the Easter weekend. And the weather for Saturday and Sunday if you're going to be traveling. But just know, the weather has gone to pot. Yeah, this is not good. You just grab yourself something warm to drink, grab a cup of coffee, and hang out with us here. It will be bursting into the afternoon. Here's the Vipercast with that line of showers and that push that we're experiencing right now. The front's right past us, so you're in the wake of that. As we get toward tomorrow, things calm down a little bit. We'll still be breezy, and then another push of snow early Saturday. And into Sunday, it looks like chances of rain. But for the day today, it's going to be in the mid-40s. Right around 50 into Salmon. And you're on the edge of a winter weather advisory there too. It's kind of nice having y'all just hang out with me here. This is what we do when we're not doing a newscast, but taking a look around and making sure you guys are protected. So we're getting some pretty good snow with that changeover into Pocatello right now. And suffice it to say, travel is not the best. So let me show you the interstate. Yeah. You know, it's so funny because we cover so many areas and people say, well, it didn't snow at my house, it didn't rain, you know. Y'all, we're covering so much territory on Channel 8. It is one of the biggest spans of a television market in the country. Even our engineer, Scott Affa, we talk about the number of translators and ways to reach you. We have more than most TV stations are allowed to have because we get into the mountains and the back country and into Wyoming, and you wouldn't believe all the hard work that our engineering and IT crew does to make sure you get a signal. But we love it when you share your weather pictures with us and you update us on what you see. So now you can email us your weather pictures at weatherwatchers@localnews8.com. You can also share on the weather app. So yeah, it's another argument with Mother Nature. And that's Pocatello right now. So, and this is why I wanted to come on live stream and just let you know, there's a pretty harsh front that's zipping through here. And I can tell you where that little cell right there, just moving to the northeast about 31 miles an hour. So it is right there past Blackfoot. So let me show you the rate at which the snow is falling right now in Pocatello. So this is a snowfall rate. So looking at what's happening, Pocatello and Chubbuck, I'm going to go to the darkest blue part. And the snow is moving so quickly. If it were to continue at that rate, it would be falling at 5 to 10 inches an hour. But just know this is a front that's associated with it. So it's moving. And you can see where the snow has picked up and where it will go into the eastern highlands and western Wyoming. But just a factoid. Let's check the roads. So mainly rain along I-15. You've got some electricity. The mountain nooks and crannies are looking at some snowfall there. Road temps. Yeah, along I-15, it's above freezing. But you get over here toward the pass, and the roads are at 25 degrees. Same over toward Arco, they're at 31 degrees right now. So, and you can see how we monitor this. Pocatello's roads are at 40, and you get up toward. So you got wet roads and lousy conditions, and this is the snow that has already fallen. Look at that, 70 inches over toward the pass, and there's not much on the ground into the I-15 corridor. I got 4 inches on the ground up there to the north of Rexburg. But a lot of that, you know, has been here for a minute. You go to Jackson, there's 85 inches on the ground. We're getting another blast of wind right now, down around Soda. And I'm sure there's going to be people that are not pleased with what's going on with the weather today. Yeah. So this is what we've seen in the last 24 hours. Man, it sounds windy outside. All right, so these are the wind speeds. And you can sit here and look at this, and obviously this is measured, here's the radar site. So you measure it from and away, and this comes in handy, and wow, you hear that? Sounds like a big air conditioner came on. So you look at some of the winds around here, and you're watching this as it moves, but you can see where the most intense wind is. I just want you to be careful. Yeah, see how it's changing. So we're getting 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. Watch as it changes through Fort Hall. So I'm gonna go to Rexburg. Got some pretty good winds there. It's off and on, isn't it? I'll plop this so you can see the time lapse to the south of Pocatello. But again, we measure the shear when we get severe weather. So the green is toward the radar site, if I'm not mistaken, and the red is away from it. And the radar site is in Pingree. See that little circle right there? It doesn't know what its own weather is because it is the radar. So these are the winds along the interstate. And you know that stretch right in here, it always, look at that, it always gets windier when you get in between Blackfoot and Fort Hall, and Blackfoot to Pocatello, Fort Hall to Pocatello. So some of these are negative readings, but that gives you an idea of what we're looking at with, let me catch back up. So that's the snow that has fallen in the last 24 hours over toward Victor and Swan Valley. I'll show you this just for interest's sake, but those are the pockets of snow that we've seen in the last little bit. And you can see the indicators on radar of the gusty winds up there around the canyon in Du Bois, and we've seen some lightning as well that has shown up on radar too. So just know that we got you back, and we are tracking this to make sure you have what you need to get into the day today. I just want you to be careful if you're going to get on the roads. So this is live Viper radar, the changeover from rain to snow at 10:36. Gusty winds and some elements of surprise mixed in as well. With Ryrie, you got about 25 minutes before you get the clip of this thing. But the good news is the front is moving through, so it's moving pretty quick. It's on over this way. And again, the wake of it is what we're experiencing. So there may be some electricity, but it may be gusty at times. And it's snowing right now in Pocatello. That's the other thing. We cover so many places, but yeah, snow is coming down pretty good there earlier. Windy in Idaho Falls. And I'll check this one more time because you're hanging out with us. We're at 42, but you see how the temperature's dropped into Pocatello with the cold air that jettisons in here. And Pocatello, now if you're just watching, this is not an average broadcast. I'm streaming live on YouTube just to let you know what's going on, because there's so many different things happening with this front. And again, it's not severe weather, but many of you may be wondering, what is going on? I wish they'd tell us. Well, there's only so many Facebook posts I can do to cover parts of 3 states, but you see how things are starting to break up there toward Arco and Butte City, and here's the radar lapse that got our attention. First thing this morning, we signed on at 5 and we're talking about it, and boy, it sure delivered with some of these wind speeds. I'll check the gust one more time, and then I'll leave you with that. It does make it feel a little bit cooler. We are under some advisories in certain parts of our area, and this is becoming more snowy as you get into Fort Hall and through the backcountry off to the sides of I-15. So yeah, it's snowing in Idaho Falls. There it is. So we get the mix. And that camera will start icing up soon with the snow that's going to come through here. We don't have any real alerts to tell you about other than you know what to do when there's bad weather. Please be careful and look out for the other guy. And I'll go to salmon too, because you guys are probably getting some weather. You've had some. All right, I'll give you one more look at the radar, and then I'll just leave it up. Let me erase this. So I'll plot the front. You can see what the big fuss is. It's this cold front. So it's technically it's moved to the east, but you see what it's leaving behind, that dash of cold air and the wind. So snow showers from Soda Springs all the way up. The Swan Valley looks dry at this point, but out toward Mud Lake. And again, if you watch this will change again. Ashton's getting some snow right now. And here's another look at Viper radar with some indicators of where things are going. So Roberts, Manan, you're going to get a little blast here, and maybe a touch of some winter weather. And we just appreciate you, and our job is to tell you what's up. So there's a live look over Idaho Falls with the rain, and maybe mixed with a little snow, and we've had a dash of snow through Pocatello as well. So plan your day accordingly. Know that coming up at noon today, we're going to take a preview of the weekend. We'll track the storms, and we'll more than likely lay out the plan for travel as you get into what's left of winter around here. What a mess. This is mud season. It's truly just lousy weather. And you can see a little snow on the hills over there in the Pocatello. So you get a little dash of that, and yeah, what's for lunch? We'll meet you here at noon on Local News 8.